5, I do call to order the meeting of the Apache Junction Parks and Recreation Committee. And if you guys will rise and stand for Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And Christy, can I get a roll call, please?
D.L. Kine.
Here.
Cheryl Bigelow.
Here.
Felicia Madrid.
Here.
Judy Bory.
Here.
Frank Shanebeck.
Here.
And Heather Moeller is excused.
Perfect. Next, we will move on to the consent agenda. The commission may at this time take single action on any or all items listed as consent agenda items. These include acceptance of agenda and acceptance of minutes. Any member of the commission may remove any item from the consent agenda for the discussion and cause a separate vote on the matter later on in the agenda. May I please have a motion, please?
I move that the Parks and Rec Commission accept the agenda as presented and approve the minutes from the August 6, 2025 regular meeting.
And I'll second that.
Perfect. Christy, can I have a roll call, please?
Frank Shanebeck.
Yes.
D.L. Kine.
Yes.
Cheryl Bigelow.
Yes.
Felicia Madrid.
Yes.
Judy Bory.
Yes.
And Heather Moeller is excused, and that motion passes.
Perfect. We will move on to information and reports. I'll just start in a line. I could pick which way. Let's do Judy to start.
Well, I guess just the movies, in the park, those are always so much fun. And just seeing, the community get together for those. That's all I was able to attend to this August.
It's a hot one.
Let's see, it's been a really busy month. I feel like my mic is super loud. No? Okay. It was at like 10, I think. Anyway, the month flew by. We didn't really get out to any events or anything, unfortunately.
Same here. I was in work in Florida for 26 nights, but who was counting? But very glad to be back. Not that Jacksonville doesn't have great amenities. I did hold an alligator, so if we can bring alligators here, I think that would be a great attraction. No? Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited to be back and hopefully get out there and see our amenities.
I don't have any alligator stories, but I did go to the garden party.
I didn't make that. How was
And
that?
it was good. Jared said they had to set up more tables and chairs this year than last year, so attendance is up, which is good. I've been going by the dog park fairly often. The grass looks better this year, I think, than I've seen it in a long time. I don't know what it was this summer. Maybe it just finally dug in and got a hold. But dog park and Flatiron look real good. Dog park usually struggles because if we get too much rain and too much people on it. And other than that, going to the gym, checking that out every so often.
Senior center for me.
Perfect.
I forgot. I did it. Thank you for reminding me, Frank. I totally forgot. We did go to the dog park actually a few times this month with our new dog. And yeah, she really likes it. She doesn't care for people, but she loves dogs.
Same.
Yeah, right?
All right, next we will move to the staff report. We are going to start with presentation and update on projects and opportunities in the park and other service areas. Dave will have you present.
All right, good evening, everyone. I just have a list of stuff tonight. I have no pictures, but I do want to let you guys know that our never-ending project of the restroom at Superstition Shadows Park is done.
Hey.
We are waiting on a final permit and a certificate of occupancy to get in to open the restroom, but it's done. It's hooked up, water is running, electric works. We're close enough to call it done at this point. We just need a final permit to get in and start using it. Along the same lines, the drainage work at Prospector Park is so close to being done. We're at the punch list phase, so I would think about another week, and then all of that work will be done. Once we do have that done, I'll bring some pictures to the next meeting to show you guys how different it looks out there, because it's a huge difference out there. A couple things coming up. October and November are going to be crazy busy months for us. Starting October 1st, we have a list of projects at the Aquatic Center. The fence around the center and the masonry wall is coming out and being replaced. We're redoing the deck around the pool, so recoating the deck, rolling it into the bathhouses and the guard shack. The slides are getting recoated for the first time in 10 years. Also starting October 1st-ish, we're still working on scheduling, would be, we're gonna repaint the interior of the MGC. So that hasn't been done in 20 years since it opened. So we're gonna repaint the interior of the MGC this year. In November, somewhere between the 1st and 15th of the month, we will start on shade structures at the pool. So we're getting approximately 4,500 square feet of shade installed at the pool, both around the comp pool and play pool. There's new playground features being installed at Superstition Shadows Park, as well as approximately 6,000 square feet of shade at Superstition Shadows Park. Somewhere around the 15th of that month, we will start on phase 2 of the lighting project at SSP. So another 39 or 42 light poles are going to be replaced with all new LED heads, and they're all dark sky compliant as well. And then towards the end of November, we're looking to replace all 8 ramadas at SSP. So all 8 ramadas will be replaced. And then we are still in contract negotiations for work on the rodeo grounds as well as the pickleball courts at Prospector Park. We don't really have a timeline for either one of those yet, but we are actively working on trying to get contracts and things hammered out to where we can get timelines and schedules for those. One that I did forget to mention is that I don't have a timeline, but we did have a meeting today about shade at Prospector Park as well. So both the north playground and the playground in phase 3 are getting shade. Those two total about 7,000 square feet of shade between those two areas. And we hope to start those, I'm guessing probably December-ish.
Did you say north and south?
Yeah,
sections?
both
Oh, okay.
both playgrounds. Both playgrounds will have shade. And that is a grant project, so that has to be done by February. So I'm really hoping to get it in there around December to get that one done. So that is all I have this evening for you, unless you have questions for me.
The ramadas, are those the same size ramadas? They
They're-
won't be enlarged or anything?
No, exact same. It's essentially a brand-new version of what's already there.
Okay.
The ones that are there now, the support structures have rusted through over the years, and they're just time to be replaced. So the exact same thing, just new version.
Okay.
And then where's the shade going at SSP?
At the playground,
Over the entire,
well, yes, that 6,000 square feet is spread out around the whole playground. The lower, we'll call it a tot lot, gets fully covered, and then shade will be spaced around in the larger upper level playground area.
okay.
Perfect. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Jamie present the presentation, discussion, and update on upcoming events and activities.
Good evening, Commission. I'm very excited to share our program highlights from the past month and what we have coming up on the horizon. I won't be sharing too much in aquatics, and that is because we have Julia here tonight to present, so don't think I've left them out of the party. They just have a bigger piece of it. First, I'd like to share with you our new road maps to our parks and our facilities that are in your bag. Look like this.
Oh,
You have one for you and one to share. And if you want more, I did bring some more. So this small pocket-sized map gives highlights of our facilities, some contact information, and it is an actual map. So it's kind of old school. You know, you can't Google it, but you have it right with you. So
Plug this into my cell phone.
we will be giving these out all over, welcome bags, Parks and Rec booths, to commission members as gifts, so.
It does have a QR code to a version that you can see from your phone.
And it's got QR code to all of our programs, so it's got a lot of contact information and all the good stuff, but this will be something that our park rangers will be able to give out to people as they're visiting. So we'll get some down to the chamber if they're not already there yet, but
Yeah,
we have
thank you.
plenty.
Good, can I have about 300 for Project Connect, please?
We can.
Absolutely love it, whoever's idea this was, and
I
whoever's this was. It's
don't
great.
know who brew it, but
These are
Sweet.
really good.
we are excited to also announce that Flatiron Park has received the very important designation of Monarch Butterfly Way Station. This means it has been certified that this area at Flatiron Park provides resources for monarchs to produce and sustain their migration. So we are very excited. This will be going up, and we will be doing some celebration and some programming in regards to like our Earth Day event. So we're very excited about this. Don't let me forget that. Okay, I want to share first a little bit about our YAC program. This had to be a building year for Jody because all of our students, with the exception of one, graduated. So that left us with a membership of one. But through recruitment, going to the schools, having an open house, we have already recruited and have 11 total members. So our average is about 12. So we are right on track and we are really excited for the new year. As they have done for a number of years, they attended the League of Cities and Towns and participated in the day's activities, including the Parade of Flags. So this is a really unique experience for our Youth Advisory Council as they get to go and hobnob with all the city elected officials and really get to see city government from a stateside perspective. Being it's still very hot out, most of our activities are found at the pool, inside the MGC, or after hours. Elliot hosted his first trivia night, so it was a blacklight event that happened outside of the Multi-Gen Center. We paired it up with our rock painting night, so it was kind of cool. Participants learned about critters of the night and the importance of dark skies. A couple of new programs that we haven't seen in a while or might be brand new to us. Obviously, I can't go and list all the programs because that would take all night. I would do it, but you guys would get tired. But we did offer a gun safety education class. We've brought back some CPR certification classes. We had a babysitter certification class coming up in September, and we also have an array of wellness classes that we're offering. The Senior Center hosted Buckeye in a friendly game of Family Feud, and let's just say we need to polish up on our feuding abilities. I will say they are ornery. Like, I was over there and Buckeye was doing this to me. Like I was cheating or something, and I wasn't. We lost. If I was cheating, we wouldn't have lost. But it was still a lot of fun, and Buckeye, they drove all the way out here, and they were very good participants, probably because they won.
Well, if my team would have listened to me, we would have won the second.
Yeah, I think you're right, Cheryl.
No, I know I'm right.
Prehistoric Party and the Garden Party were two free events that we hosted inside the Multi-Gen Center. I think we might have talked about Prehistoric Party last month, but I can't remember. But I'm still going to just boast that we had 300 paleontologists in the Multi-Gen Center digging up bones. And then we had a little bit of a calmer garden party with about 80 attendees. T-ball and coach pitch have started this month, and they'll continue into what we call fall. Well, we call it fall. The rest of the nation calls it, or we call it summer, they call it fall, you know, whatever. It's still 105 out. We ended the month with our APRA conference, and 4 of our staff presented at conference. It is very, it can be very nerve-wracking presenting at conference because you are presenting to our entire state professionals. And so this year we had Jody and Elliot presented with our library staff on the importance of programs and partnerships with your local libraries. And when I say it was packed, there was only standing room and there was over 70 people in the room. These are some people they may not know, but for the most part, they're completely strangers. And they did a fantastic job. And then we had Riley and Jared. They did a fast-paced best of the best in special events, showcasing special events from around the state. So I'm really proud of our team for coming up and stepping up to the plate and being part of our education sessions. Conference is a great opportunity for our staff to come and learn and network, get their required CEUs to keep their certification, which is super important. But we get to learn a lot about what's happening statewide. So coming up, again, I could be here all day, so I'm just going to highlight some of the things that might just stand out. But we do have Paint with Pints tomorrow. There are 2 spots left. The little Roadrunner picture that you saw flipped through there is the picture for tomorrow night if you're interested. Friday, we turn 20 years old. We look freaking amazing for being 20 years old. But we have stuff happening all day long, but really at 6:30, come for the cake and stay for the speeches. There'll be rock painting, there'll be bingo, but we would all love to have you guys there, picture opportunities, and like I said, there'll be cake. So if you needed, there'll also be food trucks, so if you don't have time for dinner, you don't need time, Esame's Kitchen will be there along with some sweet treats. So come on by and eat and be jolly, have fun. There'll be a photo booth there, get your photos. September 6th, Elliott will be hosting a plant steward program. So we are looking for stewards to help with our weed pulls and our volunteer program with our invasive species. So if that's something you're interested in, please join us on September 6th. September 13th, we are very excited about our remote controlled boat event. If you saw a picture of Elliott, looked like he was drinking out of the lake. He really wasn't. He was down there playing with our boats today to make sure that everything was going to go off very well, and it will. I'm so excited for that. And September 19th is Mad Science Night. If you need something to do on the 19th, we are still looking for volunteers for that evening, so please let me know if you have a couple of hours that you can dedicate to helping young minds learn about science. Don't worry, you don't need to know about it. We'll give you a cheat sheet. You'll be just fine, I promise. And then ending up in September 22nd is fall break already. So AJUSD will be on fall break through October 3rd, and we have an intercession program planned. Future planning, we are working on, or Elliott is working on a partnership with Game and Fish to add more pulls to our fishing program. So every fishing night that he's had out at Painted Sky, all of our pulls are gone within 10 minutes, and we currently have 12 pulls. Game and Fish will be able to add 25 to that, so we're really excited about that partnership. And we are also working with CACDD on being able to add other adaptive fishing dates. So that is also who we work with on our transportation program, so it's really kind of cool. But Doug Bacon and his crew over there are gonna hopefully be able to work with us on getting some more dates for that program. So that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
What time is the Mad Science Night?
What time is Mad Science Night? I will,
Keep playing, it'll be.
5 or 6? It's in the evening. I will look. I will find out for you. I cannot remember.
Perfect, I'll hit you up.
I'll find out before we adjourn.
And do we talk to you about volunteer?
Yeah, you can just let me know, and I will let Jared know to get in contact with you guys.
Perfect. Any other questions? Thank you, Jamie.
Looks like a wonderful September.
Perfect. Next, we will go to the report on the City of Apache Junction welcome bags delivered to residents of new developments and neighborhoods. And Larry, I'll have you present, please.
All right. I created a quick. Let me get there. Ooh, I created a little graphic for you guys so we can get a nice visual that over the program in the last year and a half or so, we've given out over 2,700 bags. The Parks and Rec marketing team has put together another 600 for the city manager's office to give out. And over that time frame, we've also attended 13 neighborhood meetings while we're distributing the bags as well.
Do you welcome new businesses with welcome bags?
So far, I believe these has only been for new community members.
Okay.
So if there's a desire.
So just as a reminder, the welcome bag idea actually came from Frank, that as we were getting we were getting so many new developments all over the community that what were we doing as a community to kind of welcome all these new residents? And so we started with some of the different pop-up, developments that were coming on board. And so we reached out to the city manager's office. This was something that the city manager's marketing department kind of took the lead on. We have the bodies to kind of be the labor to put the bags together, but all the departments contribute to it. And I know Jamie brought a sample bag when we first started that, and as Larry said, that 2,700 is how many has been created over the life of this program. Jorge in the background, he shot us these numbers. They took over this project once they got their team going. This 600 is what was just what was prepared in 2025?
Yes.
Is that right?
So far.
So just in this time frame. And then the neighborhood meetings is, we've gone, in addition to those welcome bags, the marketing team for the city has gone to 13 neighborhood meetings. So those are people who already live in the city. So those are residents that are already here that city departments are visiting, and they're already here. So we're sharing all of our services and all the communities that we're in. And so Larry and I were going to kind of tag team sort of the concept. I know I'm going to end show here for a minute. And we thought it was kind of a good opportunity to share. Oh, I went the wrong way. It's a good opportunity to remind you of a great resource on our website. In the GIS, so you could go to apachejunction.az.gov/GIS, and they have these really great maps, but the development project map will show you, so it shows the city limits. There's US 60 and our full city now. If you zoom in, I need to look on my computer so I don't mess up. When you zoom in, it starts to populate all of these developments. And this shows businesses as well as residential. But the really cool thing is that as you zoom in, it will show you what those different things are. So as we get down here, and we'll start down south, and then I'll move up north a little bit, just so that you can see. I probably picked the wrong direction to go.
I do that all the time.
I know. In more ways than one, I do it. Sometimes it takes a little while. Let's go up top where it goes a little faster. So if I come up here, so in this development right here, it will show you actually a whole development plan. It'll show you what's coming there. You can see an entire, what the site plan is gonna look like. But we have a whole list of all of these developments, but each one of these developments got a certain amount of welcome bags. And so each one of these different developments got welcome bags when they first came online. And so for many of these, the city manager, Jorge in the back, they went and hand-delivered these and made sure that folks got
Is there
it.
like a breakdown on each development, like how much?
Yeah, Larry,
bags went
did
to
you bring
each
that with you?
development?
I did not.
You know what, I think I did actually. Sorry.
That's
I
kinda
think
what I'm
You gave
curious
me that
about.
task, sorry.
I'm
That was my.
curious about welcome bags
Sure.
versus how many units there are, because that
In
kind of
each.
gives you an idea.
We gave them the exact amount of welcome bags that they had of units. So for example, Radiance down below, and it's only with the amount of units that they had at the time. So we just give them what they were going to
Whether
be.
they're taken or not, that makes sense then. So if
Yeah,
there's
so
100
they're
units
giving it
built,
to them as they show up. So Radiance, they gave them a little over 1,000 bags, welcome bags. Havenly, which is up here in this direction someplace, I'd have to find them on here. They got 170 bags. Blossom Rock down below, there near Painted Sky, 140 bags. I'm sorry. And then Radiance got another installment this year, again, of 1,000 bags. Havenly's on our list again. When they got another influx of units where people came, they got another 100 bags. So we're only taking them, the amount of units that are getting sold. The city's marketing team is going down there.
So you're given for the units sold, not how many units are built. So there could be 100 units built, but there's 50 empty.
Well, whatever's built is they're selling things as they go. So I don't know the method to build versus You could go into any one of these. Like I said, that Keystone example is a great example.
Oh, yeah, I'm in those all the time.
It will tell you how many units right in there.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the we don't have anything to do with any of that. That is nothing that we know. The welcome bags really were turned over to the city manager's office. It was just an idea of how we would get all of that going. Superstition Vistas, that's kind of a littler development, 100 bags. Blossom Rock, like I said, got 100 bags. The villas on Superstition, 120 bags. So those are how they were divided out. The welcome bag idea is as those developments came online, we got bags out to all of those groups.
I appreciate that, Liz.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Great idea, though, Frank. I think you're the spearhead of all of that. And
Well, I think it was already in the works, and I just added a certain urgency because I said, everybody moving in is establishing habits.
yeah,
And if we don't get them to establish habits coming into our town, they're going to go elsewhere.
yeah,
I think already at the time, though, honest, that somebody had started it, Al, but it hadn't gone very far. And they were focused on Blossom Rock, and they weren't worried about these little ones that were popping up. And that's where I thought we were missing the opportunity. We've got people moving in already, and we're not giving them bags.
yeah.
So I think if I did anything, I added a little urgency to it.
Yeah, so it's great. So they've done an awesome job up at the marketing team. And then Larry and our rec staff and the marketing team have done an awesome job of keeping them stocked with bags and keeping those moving.
Well, it's really good to see that it has become alive and stayed alive. Some of these things really, you get the first couple hundred bags out, and then it loses interest and they peter out. But thanks to Larry and the whole crew here, it's
Yeah,
rolling.
Jorge, I think, runs the whole, back in the back, he runs this, he kind of keeps it moving and lets Larry know when and then sends out to all the departments when they're ready to start another batch. So I think this is kind of an ongoing program there. So that's happening up at the city manager's office.
Really good.
Perfect. I think, did we already mention that these are in there now?
Say that again?
Are these in there now?
They will be in the next
are
round.
amazing.
Yep. Those will be there next.
Perfect. Any other questions? All right, then we will move on to the presentation of the 2025 Arizona Parks and Recreation Association Awards, and I will kick it off to you, Jamie.
I think it's actually me, sorry.
Just kidding. Jamie/Liz, or whoever would like.
We like to tag team things anyways.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I closed my window and I got to get there again.
Mad Science starts at 5 p.m. So,
Good, perfect timing.
and it's about 2 hours. 3 hours.
Oh, pause. Okay.
We have experts in the audience, no big deal.
So any of you that are on Facebook already know, and you probably have seen our videos, but we love sharing them anyways. And we're really proud of the 2 awards that members of or people in our program got. First of all, Painted Sky Park, as you know, was awarded Outstanding Facility for cities 25 to 100,000 population. Dave Butler actually submitted the nomination, and it's a really competitive category. Lots of cities are building facilities right now. There's a ton of amazing facilities out there, but there's some really tough criteria that you have to follow, and honestly, Dave did an amazing job of making sure that we hit and got all the points possible for everyone. I wish there was a fast forward 10 seconds, not 30 seconds.
Located in Apache Junction is a truly remarkable addition to the city's park systems. Painted Sky Park, located in the city's first master planned community, Blossom Rock. Developed in partnership with Brookfield Development, Painted Sky Park sets a new standard in public spaces. It features Apache Junction's first ever catch and release fishing lake, the Rough Ranch Dog Park, a sprawling 3-acre adventure playground called Miners Run, and accessible play areas for children of all ages and abilities. The park offers everything from bocce ball and cornhole to life-size chess and cozy gas fireplaces, all with a stunning backdrop of the Superstition Mountains. Built with environmental responsibility in mind, Painted Sky uses reclaimed water for irrigation, dark sky compliant lighting, and over 200 native trees that were preserved and replanted on site. Thanks to innovative funding through a community facilities district and a cooperative maintenance agreement between the city and the Blossom Rock community, this project came to life quickly and sustainably. Painted Sky Park is more than a park. It's a model of creative planning, community partnership, and thoughtful design. Congratulations to the City of Apache Junction and Brookfield Development, this year's winner for Outstanding Facility Award in populations 25 to 100,000.
Great.
Off, yes. Our second award winner was also Dave Butler, our park superintendent. He was awarded Parks Professional of the Year by APRA, which is a really awesome award and definitely well-deserving by Dave. He does a lot of great things. We haven't had a park superintendent for about 3 years. Sometimes it definitely shows, and we're really happy to have had him. We've definitely come a long way. As you guys can hear, a lot of projects, and definitely has been a major difference in our department. So very deserving of this award. Dave, could you please hold up your 2 awards? Yay.
Painted Sky was kind of like a present to us, you know, but Dave is like a present to us, but he had to do a lot of work at his job. Painted Sky was kind of laid in our lap, but Dave earned his award the hard way. So congratulations, Dave, it was well earned.
Dave Butler has been a cornerstone of the City of Apache Junction's park system. Beginning as a parks maintenance supervisor and now excelling as park superintendent, Dave manages over 2,500 acres of parkland, 3 supervisors, and 19 full-time staff. But his impact is far more than numbers. It's about people, place, and purpose. Dave played a key role in developing the city's first dog park and partnered with Brookfield Residential to expand park access for residents. His leadership unified 3 divisions and deepened collaboration across parks and recreation, creating a culture of teamwork, inclusion, and pride. Holding certifications including CPRP, CPO, CPSI, and Certified Arborist, Dave also co-chaired APRA's Parks Maintenance Team, advancing peer learning and sustainable practices statewide. In 1 year alone, his team completed over 15 major projects, earning honors like the Field of Excellence Award. Dave's influence reaches beyond his department, contributing to citywide projects like the Library Reading Garden and earning deep respect from staff, council, and the community. Dave Butler leads with integrity, heart, and excellence. He is a mentor, a builder, and a champion for public parks. Please join us in congratulating the APRA Parks Professional of the Year, Dave Butler.
Perfect.
Dave, we didn't make you say anything at the council meeting, but you have to say something today.
No, I appreciate it. I couldn't do what I do without the parks team I have that works with me, the rec staff that creates all the problems that we have to fix. And I'm just really grateful and thankful to Jamie. I'm pretty sure is the one who put me up for this award and then lied to me for several months about who actually won the award. But
Sounds right.
no, I wouldn't want to do this anywhere else, and I'm just really grateful to work with all these great people. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next, we will move on to the report on the 2025 Superstition Shadows Aquatic Center season. Julia, I'll have you come on up.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, my name is Julia. I'm the recreation coordinator in aquatics. Yeah, so. Yes, I do. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So the first thing I want to start with is open swim. This season, we were able to offer open swim Monday through Sunday. That's 7 days a week for 5.5 hours a day. And our total attendance for the summer was 18,389 people that we were able to have the pool open for. And yeah, so we were also hit capacity 3 weekends in a row in June, which is something we haven't done since before COVID. So that was really exciting to be able to not necessarily turn away people, but to be so busy that our pools, like we have all these families here that we're not able to serve anyone anymore. But then it started to flow through and more people were coming in and out. But yeah.
So do you actually have to turn people away when you're full like that?
We do, yeah. Our capacity is 400 people just for safety reasons, also just the liability of having that many pool and the ratio with lifeguards and everything. So once we kind of get around that 400 number, we'll have a little bit of wiggle room. Once we get to like 410, that's when we're like, okay, we have to start like actually telling people to hold off and wait a little bit. And yeah.
But can you talk about your process? Because I don't think you guys usually turn them away. They wait. And do you, as people leave, do you let people in?
Right, yeah. So like they'll kind of just wait out front for a little bit and it's constantly flowing. So it's never been where right when we first start, it's 400 people in and then we have to keep the gates closed for a while. It's going to be throughout the day that we hit that 400 and we're just going to be like, we're just going to have you wait out here for a little bit. And then as one family leaves, we allow people to come in. So
Is there a time limit of how long you can spend at the pool?
no, there's not.
Do you notice like an average time that people spend?
For families, it's probably about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how hot it is. For teenagers, it's all day. So it really just depends on the age group of who's coming into the pool. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So the next thing is going to be our swim lessons. We had 5 regular swim lesson sessions this summer, and then 1 Saturday swim lesson session that went through August. SRP did sponsor those Saturday swim lessons for us, and then we also got a sponsorship from the DPCA, which is the Drowning Prevention Coalition of Arizona, where they gave us $500 to contribute towards our scholarship funds for kids in Apache Junction to get swim lessons for free.
These lessons, are they all beginners or are there different stages in the lessons?
There's different stages. So we have infant classes all the way to, we also had adult classes this year. So yeah, this is our first time in a few years also that we had adult swim lessons as well.
Do we know how many participants we had in adult lessons?
We had 2.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so hopefully we continue to try to grow it as the years go on.
And sorry, Julia, you said that SRP sponsored the Saturdays?
They did,
The
yeah.
Saturday lessons?
The Saturday swim
Okay.
lessons, yep, and it was free for all AJ residents for children.
And will that continue, or is it something we have to like reapply for?
I believe so. We've had it in the past, and I believe it'll continue.
It's our second year, and it's a grant, so you're awarded it. We don't count on it, but we're certainly happy when we get it, and this has been our second year for it.
Okay.
But you have to apply for it.
We do, yeah, we do. Okay.
So the next thing is our special interest classes that we offered. We have water aerobics, water stretch and tone, lap swim, read and rec, and swim team. We have tons of different age levels of all these different classes that we offer. Our read and rec kind of gears more towards that toddler age. Water aerobics is more for our adults and our seniors. Lap swims is for pretty much all adults. And then swim team is for our youth.
I recognize some faces in there.
Yeah, we had a very successful swim team this year. A lot of our kiddos at the state games got first place, including Felicia's daughter. So that was really awesome to see.
We talked about it.
All right.
And I also see we had a volunteer who looks familiar in there. We didn't know, but it was Liz's son, and he was a great like assistant coach to the team.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing new that we did get to participate in this year was the world's largest swim lesson. I learned about this at a aquatics conference back in February, and it's kind of this organization that puts on one giant swim lesson for anybody that you want to offer it to in your community, and then all the participants that you have in that class counts towards the final number of participants from all around the world. So their final number was over 30,000 swimmers. They still haven't finalized what their final number was, but they've got to over 30,000. Like I said, from all around the world, so not just in the United States, different countries, and we had 46 participants that we had, and they were kiddos from our summer camp that we used. And my goal is to kind of try to reach out in the future to other summer camps, maybe the Boys and Girls Club, and see if we can get more kids to participate in this with us in the future. But it was a really exciting little event that we got to do because swim lessons are very important. So
What date did that happen, Julie?
this was Thursday, June 26th.
Okay.
You need a lot of staff to deal with 46.
Yeah, we had a total of 9 swim instructors and 1 lead swim instructor kind of leading the whole thing. And then, so 10 total, but 9 that were assisting in the process, and then 3 lifeguards, along with myself and some other full-time staff.
How many hours was that about?
It's a 30-minute class.
30-minute?
And all 46 in that 30-minute, right? You don't have separate.
Yep, they're all in, I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but all of them are kind of in that one picture. That's all of them up there smushed in, and then just different little groups throughout the pool that we did. But, yeah. So this season, we were able to offer 9 special events. We kicked off this season with April Pools Day, and through there, we had all of our events kind of go through the summer with our summer kickoff pool party, itty bitty beach party, teen night, Pirates versus Mermaids, 2 dive-in movies, and then the last splash. Something different that we were able to do this year was for our Pirates versus Mermaids, we had a real-life mermaid and a real-life pirate come to the event and surprise the kids, and they loved it. It was so exciting seeing the kids' face when they thought that our swim instructor, Lillian, was a real mermaid, and the way that they talked to her and the way that she was able to interact with them, it felt like Disney. It was really cool. So that will definitely be something we'll continue to do, just to kind of bring a little bit of magic to our events. So this year we had sponsored Saturdays. We had 2 Saturdays where public swim admission was completely free for both adults and the youth. State Farm, Aaron McDermott, sponsored the 4th of July, which was really, really exciting because we had over 592 patrons attend the 4th of July event. And then the Lost Dutch Marathon also sponsored a Saturday, and we had 514 patrons attend that day. And like I said, it was completely free for everybody that came to swim. So that was a cool thing to offer to the community. For staffing this season, we had 49 staff members, 29 swim instructors, 44 lifeguards, and we also did Sonic Spotlight Awards. To kind of go back, this was the first summer in many years that we've had this many swim instructors. Years past, we've kind of been growing our swim instructor team again. Just 5 years ago, I think there was one year where we had 7 swim instructors total. So this year we were able to have 29, which was really awesome. And then, like I said, 44 lifeguards. And then we did a kind of a sponsorship with Sonic where we hung up their banner and we did a little bit of promotion for them on social media. And in return, they gave, each week we were able to give one staff member, kind of give them a little bit of a spotlight and give them a Sonic gift card. And then they also gave us a huge stack of Sonic coupons to give out to the community and to our aquatic staff as well. And the coupons just weren't like 10% off. It was a free drink, a free Route 4040, right? Route 44, which is like the large drink. So that was a really cool coupon to get from them. Something else new that we did kind of a reservation. This wasn't a class that we hosted, but it was somebody who came to us and they had this really cool idea where it's called Floating Sound Bath, and they put a bunch of paddleboard, also known as like yoga mats on the water. And basically you have an entire hour to relax with your eyes closed, with music that just kind of puts you in like your own sense of relaxation. And it was something that we've never done before, and it was really cool to kind of see this happen at our facility. They decorated it with lights, and the way that their instruments were set up, it made it a completely different scene for our facility. So it was really cool to have that this summer. And their classes have been really, really successful, that they asked us if they could continue doing it throughout the year. We had to tell them, no, we have to do construction, but they definitely want to come back next summer and continue hosting classes at our facility.
Could you do a cancer survivor one, maybe, for something like this?
Well, the reason why this one, so this isn't one of our classes. It's a specific. They're called desert paddle boards. It's their company, so they bring in the paddle boards. They bring in the staff. We just host it at our facility. So it's not one of our classes that we could offer, but definitely something to think about.
Do we advertise this event like through us saying it's hosted here, or, okay?
Exactly like that, yeah. So they do all the registration on their end through their website. When they make posts, I'll share it to our page, just letting people know so we could try to get community members from AJ to take the class, since it is hosted at our facility in our city. But we don't do any of the registration for it. It's all through them.
And I saw it throughout the summer. I thought that was a fabulous idea.
Yeah, definitely something that's cool and different.
And that another agency, like a business, was utilizing our pool.
Right, yeah. We like having the reservation funds that we get from it. Very exciting.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So something that our lifeguards got to compete in this year was the Arizona Lifeguard Challenge. This year it was hosted in Avondale. Each lifeguard had to go through a testing station. We had CPR, deep water dive rescue, a relay race, and a first aid testing station. And then they had a team trivia one that they had to do. We did not take first, but that is okay. We will come back in the future. We did get 12th place out of 30, so not too bad. But yeah, just kind of wanted to highlight these kiddos that went and did that for our team this year.
Julia, how many lifeguards attend that challenge around the state, would you say?
Well, there's 30 teams and 5 on each team.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. So we're excited that we're able to represent.
It is, and each, when I say 30 teams, that's 30 different cities. So each city sends a team. So, yeah. Yeah. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to Liz, Jamie. I want to say a big thank you to Skylar Hashu. He was the recreation assistant in Aquatics this summer. He was a big help with finding coverage. If it wasn't him finding the staff to cover, he would always go in and volunteer and be the first one to kind of take on that role. I definitely know as my first year as a coordinator, it was nice having that assistance from him because of his lifeguard skills and knowledge. So definitely a big thank you to him. And then, of course, a big thank you to Elliot as well. He has been in this position before, and I was his assistant, so it's been really nice kind of having that mentor over me and guiding me through this first year. And then, of course, thank you to the park maintenance team, especially South. I don't know what we would do without them. And then, of course, our aquatic staff, the lifeguards and the swim instructors, and our leadership team. So, yeah.
While you're thinking of those super tough questions, I should have given her a proper introduction, but Julia Feraldi has been part of our aquatics world since she was probably in a swim lesson of ours. She went through junior guard program. She was a lifeguard. She was in pool management. She worked under Jill. Some of you remember Jill. And then she worked under Elliot. This is her first year as a coordinator. And when I say that she was a slam dunk this year, I mean it. I mean, she had a great first year, and I'm super proud of her. And Feraldi is a family name. Her sister worked for us, and her brother is also a police officer for the City of AJ. So we're happy to have her be part of our rec family. So now she'll take those really tough questions.
Okay. Well, first, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
It was a seamless transition for you into the position because it really wasn't noticed and you could see things still happening there at the pool. And obviously those numbers look really good. So good job to you too.
Thank you.
And then I do have a question. This might be for the whole department, but with aquatics becoming so popular with so many programs and just all of the things going on, and our city is growing, do you guys think there's a need for a social media account just for aquatics?
I'm happy to take that question. What we have learned from our counterparts, and even in much bigger cities, that when you start to get multiple pages, they're very difficult to manage. The same branding, the same messaging. If something gets changed on one, making sure it gets changed on two. Social media is changing so quickly. I mean, right now we know that women in their 40s are what's on Facebook, and Instagram is catching the youngers. So it's just a lot to have to keep up and manage until you have a designated person in our department, which I don't see that need for a while. I think we'll keep everything in one place.
Okay. And how far in advance do you guys put stuff up? Like, what's your rubric for events? Like, if you're making an actual event on social media?
So you'll probably see on social media, our events get hit all at the same time, a lot of them. You'll just see post after post, event created, event created. We like to have our events come out at the same time that brochure period hits. So you'll see a lot of events getting posted at the same time the brochure comes out. From time to time, we might not have all the content or all the important pieces, so it might come out a little bit later, but the target deadline is to have them roll out with the brochure.
And that's the Citizen.
The Citizen, yes.
Thanks.
And that comes out twice a year, Jamie? Or
Three.
every quarter? Okay.
Next one will be out December 1st.
Anything else related to aquatics before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to save it for during strategic plan or if you want me to mention it now.
Is it related to the strategic plan, or is it something you want to ask Julia about her presentation?
I can save it for the strategic plan.
Okay. Anything else, folks?
I think we're good. Next, we are going to do old business. Do the presentation and discussion on the next steps to update the Parks and Recreation Strategic Plan, and I'll have Larry present.
All right, it's my turn to play with you guys again. So we're going to go over the strategic plan. This is, again, another draft. First thing I want to get you guys' opinion on is what should we put for the cover? I've got 3 different options. You guys let me know what you think. So I'll click on each one and we can get a bigger view of it. Kind of like this one. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of surprised at how much I actually liked the artwork on the MGC. I'm not a very artistic person, but I think it looks amazing. Just an aside, I don't have a favorite in these 3, but I like that one too. Then we got this fun one with the Christmas. And then, given the fact that that beautiful building is 20 years old, I threw that one in there as well.
I prefer the first.
First one.
Yeah, I like the first.
Okay, well then that was quick and easy.
Wow, you guys are so easy. That's awesome.
First one.
I just like the colors with it.
Oh, it just
And
makes
the
such a difference to the entry.
I'm going to be a little picky and say that I think it could use some adjusting, like the strategic plan.
Yes, I'm not married to any
Or-
of that
okay.
stuff, so
It's
if
like
we
it
want to
needs
make some
to-
adjustments to the font, to the size.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the colors are really nice together, the look, the layout. I just think that strategic plan kind of gets like muddled in there. So just if it's, I think it needs to be somewhere else or bolder outline, something like that, but.
We also have some amazing graphics people that might be listening in as well. Maybe help us like
wink,
last
wink.
time.
Yes.
Wink, wink, yeah.
We'll chat with some of those. They have way more creativity than me.
You did a pretty good
beautiful.
job,
Yeah,
Larry.
it
I'm
looks
pretty
really good.
impressed.
No, that
I like
looks
it.
really good.
You got us started.
Okay, all right, so the MGC artwork, it is. All right, then let's pull up to our current one. And yes, it is still in draft. This will be the cover page, obviously. Liz has updated the introduction on that. And then we've got a mission statement and an updated picture of our full-time staff. And then with the organizational chart, it's still being updated a little bit, but what I did is I separated it to make it a little bit easier to follow and a little bit easier to read is you can see we have our recreation staff on the top and then our park staff on the bottom versus whereas last year, you remember, it was turned sideways, lengthwise on the page. And it was still squeezed in even more so than that. You guys okay with that format?
I like the layout.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I like it
this
better.
a lot better.
We'll probably work a little bit with how, like, where the director goes and all that kind of stuff. So we'll kind of massage that a little bit. If you have ideas, feel free to email me or something if something pops out to you. But good job, Larry, on that one.
All right, and then so general plan 2.1, where we discuss our parks, trails, open space development. We've gone in and done some updating in that one, where we included the designs of our rodeo and event center, the pickleball courts, walking trail at Superstition Basin. We don't have a basement down there. Do we capture everything? Is there anything else you think we should consider adding on this page?
And just to kind of clarify process, so I gave you guys a copy. Today really is just to show you, like, give you a copy to look at. If there is something in your mind that you wanted to make sure, like, that we've been talking about, that, you know, we're not going to sit and, you're not going to go through it today. But if there's something in your mind that is new development that you want to make sure that, hey, can you find a place for that? Or are you going to make sure you're going to put, I'm making it up, but pickleball courts in new development? Or here's something that I remember that you guys achieved this year, you putting that in there. That's what today is about. We still are working with staff on you know, what they think their achievements are, what they think are some things we're gonna do this next year. So Larry's gonna go page by page and do each of these. So that's what today is for you guys to jump in and say, is this, you know, you're gonna make sure you get that in there. And then remember that next time we're gonna be bringing back the draft. So write your notes on this.
Okay. Liz, where would bike trails be in on this? And where would that fit in?
It depends. So like, remember that goal 1 is development of new stuff, and goal 2 is park expansion improvement. So it depends on if you're wanting to improve something we have that's existing, or if you're wanting something new.
And but as far as bike lanes, we don't get, that's nothing to do with Parks and Rec.
No.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything directly related to biking that is like our
I think-
responsibility.
Yeah, and remember that on here, we do have like the US 60 mag trail. That bike route is tying into the, I'm sorry, not US 60, it's like US 90. It ties into the United, you know, like the national bike route off of the 60. You know, that still is a design, if we have the funding to go into that design, that is on our plan throughout here, so we have that captured. You know, if you want something more robust in our multi-use trail plan, that might be a good place for us to.
Yeah, so we're free to go ahead and start asking because I actually made notes on our previous one, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, if you're on the page that you want us
Yeah.
to make sure we captured.
Okay, got
We're
it.
on goal 2.1.
Yep, okay.
Just a spelling error. In the third white block on the right, design is DES. No, wait a minute. I saw it somewhere else. Now I'm gonna lose it.
You didn't circle it.
Yeah, never mind till I find it again. It's in the second box. Second box. There it is.
I
yeah.
see it. Any other items that you might have on your old one mention on this page before Larry moves on to the second page? Felisa, did you have anything marked on yours?
No, not on this
Okay.
one. I'm seeing, because this is what, just to be clear, so based on what we had last year, this is our very first draft coming from you guys, staff, and showing, so that we're gonna see the changes.
Yeah.
Because I do see some things.
And you'll get to take this away with you, so then you can
Okay.
come, so the next time though, we're gonna incorporate whatever you tell us today that you want to see.
Yeah,
We've been talking with staff, we already received all the public input throughout the year, our map, all that other stuff. We're gonna put in our accomplishments, the things we've already done, and the strategies for this fiscal year. You're gonna get the final draft at the next meeting, and Larry will recap this again at the end. But the next meeting is your last chance to see it, because we will adopt it, we will approve it in November.
okay.
So, you know, this is the time to say if there's something new out there, and we'll figure out where that goes. If it's brand new, it's probably going into future. You know, it's not in our capital improvement plan. If it's something that we already said we're doing, we'll make sure that it's captured properly, kind of thing. If it's just like error, grammar, don't worry, like, we'll probably catch it in our next run, or you'll catch it when we meet again. So, 2.2.
All right. 2.2, facility safety, maintenance, and expansion. Any comments on this page?
I think we're good.
We're good? All righty then. And we're going to roll on to 2.3, programming services.
Frank, this might be a great place for things like, you know, biking, you know, exploring biking programs, just like look, you know, what are some of those things we want to look?
Yeah, I think if we're going to look at biking programs at all, we'd be looking at kind of off-road biking, mountain biking
So,
program.
you know, again, it might just be researching some of that in this next year. It's not putting that program in, but looking into it. That's the thing that you've been talking to us about this year. Anything else, folks?
As far as programs and services, I sent you and Jamie that article on STEM, on how good our programs are teaching science. Maybe we could look at what other programs we could do to expand that field, something like plant identification, that sort of thing, something where we incorporate more science into our program.
Another great place for some of these things is on that back page too. So we'll write down these notes and we'll take a look and see if they're better on that back page or here. So
Wherever it would
Yeah.
fit, but that's just something I thought of here recently, is that we do such a good job of education with our programs, and people's belief in science is increased the more they know about it.
Yeah,
And we do a
Sure.
good job of teaching already, so the more we can teach, the more people will be
great.
realistically about science. So that would be something that we could add. Thank you.
And to that point, we do have some STEM classes coming up in the next couple of months. We have a
Cool.
new instructor on that's going to be offering STEM programs. So just check that box right off already.
Well,
We'll
those
add
would be
it.
great things for us to put in here as accomplishments and
I
strategies.
said, we'll add it.
Yeah, those are awesome ones. Thanks.
Since our mad scientist Jake moved on,
What
We'll
else
have
in
we'll have
programs and
another one.
services?
I'm looking at policy 2.3.4, and with the announcement of our Monarch Way Station, I think it'd be cool to do some programming in conjunction with that. Maybe some.
Where did we put our exploring the Monarch?
It was
Was it already-
originally in Silly Mountain,
So
so.
it was under parks.
Okay,
Liz, I think it's in the.
So this is more
park.
on
programming.
the grid?
The
But
grid.
yeah, it's an
Yeah.
accomplishment, so we'll make sure it gets put someplace in accomplishments.
I know somewhere, it was in
Good job,
Silly
Elliot.
Mountain at one
Getting that
point.
application out there,
Yes. But yeah, I thought some.
for sure.
Life cycle stuff would be fun, and doing it in conjunction with the library, keep going with the partnership there.
Would anything on Tree City be involved in
Ooh, an
that too?
accomplishment. Yeah,
Under accomplishments?
for sure.
Tree City USA.
Yeah, we got to figure out where like all of our awards should go. All of our awards and recognitions. I don't know where,
Page for
On the
that.
front page.
where the goals.
There are some,
Accomplishments.
there are some things I saw in here that I feel like as the department is growing and we do have so many accomplishments, that like they need their own line item.
Yeah. Okay,
Because
we'll find a place for those. Anything else? 2.3?
Gone. All right, 2.4, marketing and promotions. Everybody's favorite, right? Social media, the fun stuff, the videos.
I love it.
actually, the Throw a Fit video was very good. But you should have snuck in like him in his little elf outfit or something, you know. Because Dave knows how to throw a couple kinds of fits.
We saw several pictures of the fits he threw in his award, for sure. Nothing on this one?
Give us just a minute.
And you will definitely get another chance.
Yes.
Jamie, you already updated reservations, right? Or was I supposed to do that? I did not do reservations. Okay, you guys, that number might not be, I might have turned that black too soon.
Which one?
Process 739 reservations.
Oh, okay.
No, the dog park one is correct.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, I was gonna
Okay,
say that.
never mind.
Yeah, I did update all of that section.
Perfect, thank you.
A little park had 739
I know.
reservations.
It's popular. It's always being used.
That's just Dutchman?
No, so you'll see in the notes here, that we added rough transit.
Oh, okay.
So that
that
is
both dog
including,
parks?
yeah,
That's
that's
both
total.
dog parks. Okay.
That's still a lot of reservations.
Yes, and we're very excited about that.
That's
Yeah.
all good work by the staff handling all that.
Yes.
Ooh, Bluegrass Festival.
I don't have anything on this right now.
All right, ready to move on? We'll go to our funding strategies. Now, let me remind you guys, obviously, anything in red, we're still gathering numbers, still yet to be changed. So we did not, in fact, get XX grant utilization in 25, just FYI.
Yeah, we want to double check a few of those numbers. We took over corporate partnerships. It used to be housed like citywide, a centralized corporate partnership person, and that got decentralized. And now Riley's actually in charge of all of our corporate partnership stuff. So we're just trying to make sure that we captured everything properly.
And although she does many things, she still falls under Parks and Rec
Yes.
as, like, she's classified there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
She does all of our stuff, and then she just adds citywide special events to her
Okay.
title. And then there are a couple of things that we just are going to list here every year, like things like the Apache Junction United, AJUSD IGA, our intergovernmental agreement. We'll put that there forever because we're trying to remind ourselves when we have to renew that agreement so we don't forget. Same as this market, like when we have to do the market study for fees, we have to do it every 5 years. And if we forget, it's like, it's part of the state law. So we will list it there until it has to happen. It actually has, we have to start that in January. So it was there, we listed it last year. It's there again. So that'll be a fun thing for all of us to do this year.
I feel like we just did the fee study.
I mean, if this is incorrect, so like the invasive plant grant, where, is there gonna be somewhere else in here where it says like how long it runs through these grants we get? Because I remember that one was like a few years.
Can you say that again?
The invasive plant grant, like what our life of that grant is.
No, this is just a look, so we are only putting what we spent
Okay.
for this year. So last year, we only put the total, there's just not enough room.
Yeah.
We are just putting like data for, what did we spend this year in grants altogether? And so last year, we only put what we spent in that invasive grant last year.
Okay.
And it's just gonna be a total amount from all of those grants. And like, you don't see SRP, that's kind of where we're at, is we're trying to make sure we categorize where does SRP fall? Is it grants? Is it a donation? Is it
Got it.
in the right column?
Yeah, okay.
We're just trying to finalize that.
Okay.
All right, now moving on to our grid. Start with our parks and facilities plans, current fiscal year, next fiscal year, and then future projects that aren't yet assigned to a year. We got each facility listed.
So on this, I just want to share with you. So the first column, as a reminder, is what we're doing this year. And we can only pick a few of the most important. There's a ton of things we're doing. And in some instances, Dave might lump a bunch of things together. So he's gone through and just done a few of those now. We're meeting with we have a team meeting tomorrow. Our staff will be getting an opportunity to also add to this. So I wouldn't spend a lot of time on this right now. The first column is what's happening this year that we've been budgeted for. The second column is what we, as part of our CIP plan, is planned for next year. The future is everything after that. We don't know, we hope it's the next year, but we don't know. So what I'd like you to do is just to take this away and just start looking at it. Is there something that you think you thought we talked about that is missing? Is there something in the future column that you thought was sooner? And we can talk about those kinds of things. You can send me an email of, hey, this looks off. So that way we can work on it in the next month before we come together again. We have lots of time to do that. Because it's really a draft of just, we've tried our best to get them on here and get them moved around, but it gets lost sometimes. So just take some time to look through that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start by addressing Flatiron Park. I think it needs to be prioritized because with nobody could have known getting that grant. Like, I've had people approach me, for example, or say something about the park, other community members, and they're like, well, that money would have been great put into Prosper. And I'm like, but that's not how it worked. We were given grant money.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? Like what grant money?
For Flatiron, when we were given that money, right? It had to be used to develop that park, right?
So it wasn't grant money. We had a land swap.
Okay.
And we were developing an event area. So there are decisions that were made to have that area. We swapped that land for something else.
Okay, yep. And so therefore, like, it wasn't money that could be put into one of our other existing parks.
Correct.
Which is something that has gotten brought up. But I know that we have received many complaints. It is a great event space. It's been utilized for like special events. You know, we had the food trucks there, movies. And concerts, yeah. But as far as for the like splash pad, being that it is our only one, I just think that the community would like to see that space really be able to be utilized more. And so, you know, if the department wants to take a look at some things to see what's still, I know that changes were made, like park ranger changes were made all through the department. It's not just like one approach was taken. So I know there's been some challenges there, but something else I had a question about is the hill, right? What is it, east of the splash pad? What was the what was the thinking behind that initially? And
it's a play space. I mean, I'll let Dave talk, but it's a play space. Kids climb on it, they roll down it. It's actually a great play feature for kids.
Yeah, so It's exactly what Liz said. It's a great hill for kids to roll down, and part of that solution was that we had a import-export issue with the amount of soil that needed to be moved around, and part of that was to make that hill just somewhere that kids could go and just roll down a hill, and
It was actually the #1 feature that kids played on when we first opened.
yeah, they didn't even.
Interesting.
And,
play
you know, in playground design, there's people that study what we put into parks and the types of features that you put in them, and those are some pretty, like, common things that should be, I mean, like, in the world that we're in, as they look to design and look at the psychology of kids, these are the types of things that we want to have there for them to play on instead of just, you know, plain spaces, yeah.
And I see that, but the placement of it is kind of close to the road there. And so I know being as large as it is, a hill, when you have a child go around that hill and behind it, and, you know, you can't see them as far as supervision, and the splash pads over here, I'm all for a big hill to roll down and play on. I mean, that's where I would sit when we'd go to the splash pad and such, but I do think its placement is maybe not, like, and because we also do not have splash pad park fencing yet as well. So I think maybe if that were there, it might be looked at a little different, but I do think it is a safety concern just with the road being just on the other side.
We've got the sidewalk between the hill and the road.
Right. That was brought up early on, and I think we really tried to take a look at that and see if that was, you know, bared out as a true safety hazard. We haven't had one single incident that anybody's actually had an accident that we're aware of or that it's actually caused an issue. I think the bigger thing, though, is that for the strategic plan, this is a vision. So it's really more like broad, you know, high level looking at all of this. And I think if there's something that's like individual prioritizing of a park, we should put that on an agenda item.
Okay.
And then maybe we look at that as a team.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah.
And you guys can kind of decide if that's something as a group. As far as this goes, though, it's driven by our CIP, you know, what is done with the council as well as city management and the budget.
Yeah, and I
So the budget has already devised kind of how you know, each column is done.
Yeah, and I appreciate the guidance on the appropriate place to like put it or discuss or where we should be at. I just think that speaking on behalf of the community, I think it is something that is just.
And I think it's
been
important to
brought
think
up.
about who in the community, you know, so how many people, you know, we also did a lot of surveying and, you know, I would encourage them to fill out the strategic plan survey so that way we can get that data.
Yeah.
And to just kind of touch on too, the splash pad at Flatiron currently is our only splash pad, but there is one in design right now for the Central District Park at Blossom Rock, and the master plan for Superstition Basin also has a splash pad included in that master plan. So
Yes.
we're not too far away from having.
So in the next 2 to 5 years, we're going to have 2 major ones. So those are definitely on the horizon. One on both sides, one on each side of town, one on the north side and one on the south side. So that'll be really nice. So anything else on this that you just want to make sure that we don't capture? So I think you're talking about splash pads. We want to make sure that we've captured where those are going to be in this plan as well.
Yeah, and that'll be going into our future sites, right? Okay. Yeah, and I guess for the.
And maybe that would be a good place to put what some of those amenities are going to be, so that way people can see that there are some of those things coming up in the future. That might be a really great thing to do. Because we do know what's going to be at those sites, amenity-wise.
Yeah, and it's, the reason I was saying that is because I see that in the draft, like last year's, we had splash pad fencing for 25, 26. Obviously, we've talked about it to length of like, things get prioritized, things get moved. Maybe it just wasn't the top priority. So now I'm seeing that it's, you know, moved up a year. So it's one of those things that I think would make a big impact with the community of seeing that something go in there.
Noted. And then when you move on to rec services and programs, kind of the same thing, but in programming, it's just a little different because it's not quite the same. It's not like big construction projects. So you'll see fiscal year, what are some of the things we're doing different this year? And again, Jamie's put in a few placeholders here, but we're working with our team. There's a lot of things that aren't here yet. I'm going to use like the boats, and it might be in here. So if it's in here, ignore me. But, okay. Like the remote control boats at the lake, maybe that's not in here right now. And if it is, again, ignore it. But there might be some things that are missing that are brand new. Some of the adaptive stuff that we just did. You know, we're going to put in some of the new stuff that we are incorporating this year. It's not all in there yet. And then some of the things that we might want to be expanding in the future. It might be next year, it might be in the greater future. So be thinking about what some of those things are. You know, the bike program stuff, this is an excellent place for us to be putting some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the future sites, Lost Dutchman Trail. This may be something that was discussed before I was on commission that I just,
Are you talking about on facilities?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's back on the facilities, not
Yeah.
on the programs.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were moving on already. I wanted to share, I just wanted to know, what was the insight dates that were proposed? It's not something I had discussed, and if you think it'd be better to put it as an agenda.
No, it's okay, I can tell you what that is.
Okay.
The Lost Dutchman Trail is that that's the one I was talking about, the US 90 bike trail. It's the one that's on the ADOT maintenance road. We did a 15% design. It's from Superstition Mountain Drive to Goldfield Road.
It is. Got it.
And ultimately, we would be excited if we could do a design of that. We just don't have the funds.
Yeah.
MAG, at some point, they're going to have a grant for that. They just haven't opened that grant, so we could do 100% design.
Who's MAG?
MAG, Maricopa Association of Governments.
Okay, got it, thanks.
Are you proud of me for remembering that? So that's the programming part of it.
And then we're coming up, we've got our map.
No changes there.
Imagine
Nothing
this
from last year, there is nothing.
Shouldn't be anything there. And then our back page, we will be incorporating the staff photo from the October mud run. Just a reminder, October 16th? 17th? October 17th, in case you haven't signed up for the mud run yet this year.
This is one of the spots where, sorry, yeah, you guys are ahead for me, sorry. I was on my last page of programming, I think it was. I don't know, I'm on the programming page, but either way, I was thinking that under youth programs, that's where I was saying maybe, I don't know if you guys think it might be helpful to add another line for YAC, because they're just doing so much and they seem to be growing and recruiting, and there's just a lot going on there that I feel like maybe they need their own line.
Well, so the program area is youth programs.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do so again, think of, we love YAC also, but every program area has a lot of individual programs. So YAC, we can put some specific things in there.
Okay.
But think about it like this, water aerobics is really popular, and every single area has a ton of programs in it. So the area is the coordinator's area that they do. And Jody's youth programs has lots, it has open gym, it has, well, Girls on the Run is fitness or youth programs? It's
Fitness.
okay. So just think about, Girls on the Run is, all those are great programs. We can't do a line for every single one of them. It's
And-
what program area it falls under.
In this version, there is a line specific for YAC, but the reason that they do have one is because it was significant that they almost had to start brand new.
Yeah.
And so I felt that was worthy of noting. You won't see YAC every year, just like Liz said. If we grow open gym to 3 sites from one
Right.
site, you might see, like, that's a
Okay.
big growth or a big change in that program area. Otherwise, in programming, it's very generalized because there is so much.
And like the recruitment, like Jamie said, we had to recruit, I mean, they did an amazing job of recruiting 10, I forget what you said, 10 new members. So that's why that line is there.
Okay, got it.
I wish we had more pages to do all those things. I really do.
The way I see it is it's just a high-level overview.
Yeah.
We can't capture
Yep.
everything,
Yeah.
but we can kind of do the biggest for the year.
Well, and I think because we've talked about biking a lot this year, that maybe we should put that in
Yeah.
events for.
We'll
just
find a place for it.
A big event.
Well, it might not be a big event, but we'll talk about future, what we'd be doing. All right, anything else? We'll bring back those. If you think of something, feel free to email me or set up time with me. I'm happy to meet with you individually.
Perfect. Anything else? All right, then we will be moving on to new business. Discussion on park usage and facility reservations. And Liz, I'll have you take it away, please.
All right. So Judy had asked about facility rentals and usage. And so I took a stab at what I think that you're looking for, and I'm going to share a little bit of that. And then we can maybe drill down. If there's some more information, we can bring it to a future topic. I know we've kind of covered we tried to cover a lot of stuff tonight. You guys had a lot of great ideas. So Riley did a quick search of all of our facility, so every single booking in our facilities. And so she did for every single park or center, she can see how many bookings we get in the year. And so this is in a fiscal year. So from last July 1st to June, this is our last fiscal year. And then how much revenue we brought in from the rentals, the ones where somebody paid for it. Some of those bookings are our bookings. They might be our activities, or they might be somebody we partner with that doesn't pay for it, or it might be another city department. So keep that in mind. We don't get money for every single booking. So I just want to kind of show you in general. Dog park, every single one of these revenue items is from a reservation that somebody did. So think about $8 a pop. Bringing in $4,700 is pretty awesome for 2 little spaces. I think that's pretty cool.
Liz, where does all this money go?
It goes into the general fund. So this is like one piece of the pie of how we pay for all of the $8 million that we spend on capital and maintenance of these facilities.
That's how we pay for all the cool projects I get to do.
Yeah, exactly, and the maintenance of these facilities. Equipment, we do rent out tables and chairs. What also falls in here is that anybody who pays to be on the marquee, again, most of it's our programs, but there are nonprofits that pay to be on the marquee. Flatiron, we have very few people, but a few people do rent the big Ramada there. Little League, so there's a lot of bookings, but it's almost all youth-serving nonprofits, and they pay at that reduced fee that's in our fee structure. They pay 25% of the actual fee, so they are paying a very small amount. The main office side is, I guess it's the conference center. Multi-Gen Center brings in, more than $20,000, and that's all the classrooms, the multi-purpose room. Those are the types of things that people rent there. So that's a pretty good one. Painted Sky, that's pretty much just that Ramada. Oh, the dog, no. Oh, yeah, you're right, sorry. Oh, that's just Dutchman Dog Park. Crud, I need to separate this out. So Painted Sky is probably mostly their dog park, but it also has that one Ramada, or 2 Ramadas, but it's probably mostly that one. So yeah, I could break that out more for you at some point. Prospector Park is another one, so huge, but we get lots of leagues, tournaments.
That's huge.
It is, it really is. So many different types of reservations are out there. We could have an entire item on who's renting out there. Riley could come and talk about facility reservations and things. This is really just a high level. Rodeo grounds, it's not that high. I think it's important to think of most of those things, most of the big stuff out there is partnered events. So Last Dutchman Days, they don't pay for it. Many of the other ones are nonprofits that are paying a very small amount of money. So right now we're not, we had Bluegrass Festival, they paid all fees for the first time. Most of these things are our events, and so we're not bringing in tons yet. Silly Mountain, no, they have a lot of bookings, but they're nonprofit stuff, and they can't really, it's usually like a nonprofit that's, we're having a meeting underneath the Ramada, it's nothing major.
Okay, that's all we can,
Or our own events, thank you.
oh, do we kind of get put in the reservation system as well?
Superstition Shadows is a lot.
Yeah.
So like probably the baseball fee, and the Aquatic Center. Yeah, it would be good if I had broken that out. So again, some things that we learn on this that we could do a better, like if we knew a little bit more of the things you'd like to learn, we could have Riley come back and do a better presentation. But Superstition Shadows has the Aquatic Center, the baseball field, and then Ramadas get rented out quite often for picnics and birthday parties. Probably not as much as, the Aquatic Center is probably the vast majority of that. And so Julia's team, that's every Saturday and Sundays now, again, evenings, so. But we brought in this last fiscal year over $85,000 in facility rentals. These bookings, that's 24,000 and whatever bookings. That's not the amount of people, that's not the amount of hours, that's the amount of times it was reserved. And those count as activities as well, our own bookings as well. So that's rentals or reservations. It's hard to talk about usage of parks. I know we talked a little bit about that, so I went back to kind of look at that. Like our system tracks, how many people were in those reservations. It's a little bit different of a number, and it doesn't track it for every single one. So it was kind of hard to pull up. Our park rangers, they do a count every time they get to a facility, but it's only a moment in time, so it's not all throughout the day. So each park might get counted 5 or 6 times a day, but only while that park ranger is there. So we have a count of people and dogs. I think that's interesting. So I did pull that number. It's just not, it's not really the number that's visiting our park. Silly Mountain has a trail counter. It's okay of a tracking. The new thing, though, that we're doing, so we actually partnered with the Economic Development Department, and we we subscribe to a new vendor called Placer AI. Almost every city in the valley uses them. It's a cloud-based system that we subscribe to. They actually count people based on their cell phone activity. Like, they can't tell you who the people are or anything like that, but there are things based on where it pings, all that, where there's credit card activity. It's very interesting. There's all this whole algorithm of where people are located based on location stuff. It doesn't have personal data, but you can get the quantity. So you can get the number of people. And then they have a whole algorithm based on that of how many people have been in your facility. And it's, according to all the other cities, it's pretty accurate. So we're going to try it out. We count at a lot of our events, so we'll be able to kind of compare. So as we do that over this next year, we'll bring some of that data back to you, and it might be able to tell you how many people we have at events, how many people we have at a park, and we'll see whether or not, if that's going to be helpful to us. So we're trying to kind of pull some of that data, because we're just as interested as you are of
Right.
the
I know that's
usage.
always my, like everybody wants data and stats, and like when I do stuff, like I have my clicker.
We
and I
want to
click
know
each
too.
person that walks in.
Yeah, it's very important to us because it helps us to decide need. Parks,
Exactly.
when we talk about priorities later on, if we want to talk about that, it's based on use and where. And so we make our decisions based on,
And you need that for grants.
what we're experiencing in a park. And so, those usage numbers and the numbers of people telling us stuff is really important. So these will help us out a lot.
Has anybody rented the mobile screen, the big screen?
We don't allow people to rent that out.
Okay.
We have, loaned it to like student council at the school. We tried that. It just always had problems. So now we'll partner with somebody, like we might do an event together if they're one of our typical partners, right, Jamie? Does that sound about right?
Yes, and so the screen is a very, it's a very fragile piece of equipment. So, and it's a very expensive piece. It's not like the stage where you would think the stage might be harder, but you set it up and you can walk away. The stage, if the wind blows the wrong way and how it has to be, there's so much that goes with it. So we have partnered with the schools to be able to, because our staff go with it. So, and we only have one.
Is that part of the equipment total? Would that be? Is
The
that where
equipment
that would
total,
be?
it has a stage in it.
So
Okay.
the stage does get rented, and
Yeah.
that would be part of that
Okay.
total.
Yeah. Oh, this is great, Liz. I mean,
Cool.
this is kind of what I was looking
Good.
for.
What else can I answer for you on this?
This is just annual numbers, right?
This is from June 30th, I'm sorry, July 1st of 2024 to June 30th, 2025. It's our last fiscal year.
Okay.
Yes, 1 year.
Okay.
Perfect. Any other questions? All right. Looks like there is no call to the public, but I'll just double check.
Oh, sorry, Larry.
All right, so let's do a call for future agenda items. Does anyone have an agenda item that they'd like to bring back for next time? Okay. We'll move on to selection of meeting dates, times, location, and purpose. Would anyone like to motion, please?
Madam Chair, I move that the Park and Recreation Commission hold a regular meeting on October 1st, 2025 at 6 PM in the City Council chambers located at 300 East Superstition Boulevard.
Perfect. Can I get a second?
I second.
Perfect. Can I get a roll call, please, Christy?
Judy Bory,
Yes.
Frank Shanebeck,
Yes.
D.L. Kine,
Yes.
Cheryl Bigelow.
Yes.
Felicia Madrid,
Yes.
and Heather Mueller is excused, and that motion passes.
Perfect. I adjourn this meeting at 7:37 PM. Thank you.